Joined today here on The Real Heroes by Christina Isaac, who is the chapter captain for Team Red, White, and Blue. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you.
And tell me, first of all, about Team Red, White, and Blue. Is it a nonprofit? Is it a group? What exactly is Team Red, White, and Blue?
It is a nonprofit. It started with Mike Irvin, who is who's active in the military. Currently, he's at West Point. He started this, was a small one-on-one veteran-to-veteran type of outreach program, and then it went from there and has skyrocketed. And now we're nationwide, all over the place. We're getting, I think we're at like 30,000 members right now. And the main mission of Team Red, White, and Blue is to enrich the lives of veterans and connect them to their communities through social and physical fitness activities. So it's that whole thing of, great, I got out of the military. I'm, PCS'd. I'm right here where I got out at. I don't know anybody in my community. I don't have any family here. What do I do now? I don't have that unit. And so with Team Red, White, and Blue, what we do is kind of bring them in. And the main basis is through some type of runs or yoga or CrossFit or some type of physical fitness activity. But then, connecting them with that bond, that brotherhood, and giving them that safe place to then venture out into their community. So they've got kind of that family bond instantly.
Absolutely, because we always consider it. I mean, it would be so difficult to go from such a structured life in the military where you're waking up at the crack of dawn every day, you're going to PT, and you're used to being in shape, you're used to being around your comrades in arms. And then you get out of the military, let's say maybe you deploy 10 times and then you come home, or you get out of the military after 20 years of service, or you serve your 4 years and get out, whatever the circumstances might be. Once you're done, then what? And like you said, if they get here boots on the ground into Austin and they don't know anyone here, no one knows they're here.
Oh, yeah.
How do they get connected?
Well, and even especially here with Austin, I mean, of course, everybody wants to live here. There's so many fabulous things to do, but there's not, when you first move here, it's like, okay, is there military here? Is there a military feel? It's such a free-spirited city that it's like, okay, where am I at? And I'm kind of lost. And I have veterans that, I just recently had a veteran, she was in for 8 years. She's been out for, I want to say around maybe 4 or 5, and I could be off a little bit on that. But she's been a part of other organizations, different stuff. She came and did her first little 3-mile jog with us on a Saturday out at Town Lake. And she told me the other night that she instantly felt like, and I'll get a little emotional, so you'll have to bear with me. She instantly felt like it was what was missing in her life. She's like, I finally felt like I was at home. She goes, y'all accepted me, and you didn't ask me any questions about my past. You didn't ask me my story, my anything. It was just, she said, you instantly loved me and accepted me for who I was.
Absolutely.
And it's those stories, because it's a lot of people, your wounded warriors get a lot of, if they have a physical, they're an amputee. There's something that you can see physically is wrong or is missing. There's a lot of organizations that jump in initially to help them. But once they're kind of, okay, you've got your wings, go be somebody, or you've got your, veterans that have PTSD, other anxiety issues, non-visible type, everybody's got the skeletons in the closet, right? So those things out there, this gives them a place where it's that continued support. Maybe I don't need counseling. I just need someone to go out for a run and all kinds of stuff comes out, and that's their, safe haven.
Well, and I think to have that camaraderie, have someone there with you that's been where you've been.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And with PTSD being such a rising issue and topic, I mean, we have more and more veterans coming back from war, coming back from combat zone. Mm-hmm. And like you said, those aren't the visible scars.
Exactly.
We have so many that those they really need to be taken care of as well. And so Team Red, White, and Blue, it seems, really does that, really helps step in and fill that void and heal those wounds.
Yeah, because if you look at the suicide rate of veterans, and we can go back to Vietnam veterans, they weren't welcomed. It was like, great, who cares? We don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. And so you see so many of them that have committed suicide. So our mission is to come in and let's instantly migrate you back into your community, get you involved, get you where you have that continued support, so we don't have are veterans that are coming back from, the recent wars going through the same thing, as the Vietnam veterans did. And, hopefully this will help minimize veteran suicide.
Absolutely. How did you get involved? Did you serve?
I did not. I come from a big family and friends. I don't know if there's anybody that I don't know that somehow doesn't have a military tie. But a couple of years ago, my personal trainer was like, hey, Christina, I know your love and your support of the military. Here's this organization. It just came to Austin. Can we get a donation, $20, whatever? I'm like, definitely. Not a problem. And I really didn't do anything with it. It was kind of in the back of my mind, but life happened. And then I happened to be flying out of New Jersey the day that the Boston marathon bombing happened. And as soon as I got back to Austin, I was like, it was right there, And so Team Red, White, and Blue was doing a memorial walk along with so many other running clubs here in Austin. But we had members that were there. And actually, the gentleman that was our chapter captain prior to me ran the Boston Marathon, last year when that happened. So I participated in that, and it was, I'm very patriotic, have a love, respect for the military, and anybody that has given that. I've got so many family members and seen what their spouses and their children have gone through. So just seeing it from both sides, my ex-husband's former military as well. So instantly created a bond. And it was like, then I went to another event. Then I went to actually, and I think this may be something that's coming up that we're talking about. I went to Carry the Load last year, and I met members from our Houston, San Antonio, different chapters, and walking out there and discussing, who are you carrying? What's going on? Give me your backstory. Instant bonds formed. And it feels like I've known these people for 10 years. And so just got more enriched in the organization. And now this is what I do.
Which in itself makes you a hero in your own right, because you didn't even serve. You weren't part of this group that went and deployed. But yet here you are stepping up to the plate and saying, you know what, I'm going to do what I can to give back to this group. So appreciated that you take the time and energy and effort to do that. And then now you're the chapter captain. You're in charge of the group.
It's one of those things I didn't see coming, but it was an instant. I've always said that, it's a blessing in my life that people instantly feel a bond with me and trust me to be able to tell me things that they wouldn't normally tell people. And everybody laughs because they're like, you should have been a hairdresser. Everybody tells you their business. But it's really come in handy here because I have veterans that reach out to me and is like, hey, Christina, I just want to share whatever it is, whatever this personal struggle is, and I'm like, hey, I'll go out and walk with you. You want to meet for coffee? Not a problem.
You're able to serve those that served.
Exactly.
It's almost like you're giving back now. Tell me about the group that makes up the Team Red, White, and Blue here in Austin, the Austin chapter.
So here in Austin, our leadership, I've got my athletic director. Her name is Lisa Barnes. She served in the Army. She was a Black Hawk pilot. So it's really cool. Everybody gets all excited. They're like, oh, you're a Black Hawk pilot. And she's like, enough already. So she's my athletic director. My veteran outreach director, his name is Rick Gonzalez. He was in the Air Force for 25 years. So he just came on board. Helping him is another Army veteran. Her name is Lindsay Kelly. So she's helping. And then I've got tons of different, a young lady named Veronica Amadeus. Her dad was Air Force. She's civilian. So she helps us with some media, special projects. Haley Kofty, her ex-husband, was military and has some military ties. So she helps us. And then we've got tons of different fitness leaders and coordinators that, help lead like our CrossFit groups and our yoga groups. And so it's a really great bunch, nice energy, and it's a good combination of civilian and veteran because that's the key. Because if it's all veteran, we're trying to get them back in their community, but we need to have that balance of the civilians as well. And we just recently participated in the Army Marathon. And there were tons of Eagles that were out there. And it was ironic. We had a group that did the half marathon. At the end of it, and it was horrid conditions. The weather dropped 30 degrees in 20 minutes and we froze to death. But the breakdown with several of us, when we looked at how we kind of separated with our paces, there were 5 different groups of 2 people, but the breakdown ended up being civilian and a veteran that came across the line together. And we all started out at the same, but as, over the course of the 13 miles, it was a civilian and a veteran, and it wasn't planned. It was one of those funny things when we looked at it. We're like, what are the odds? And it's like, this is what it's all about. It's a partnership.
Absolutely. What is the goal going forward? Obviously, the group was initially started by an active duty military member. The focus is reintegrating veterans back into the community and back into society, whether they're coming back from combat or processing out of the military, or even just moving towns. But
Right.
what is the overall mission? Is it to gain more veterans? Is it to get more civilian, more community involved?
It's definitely going to be a tie between the two. I mean, obviously, we have to have our veterans. That's our focus. So we're always doing things to reach out to our veterans to let them know, working with different organizations that have any type of veteran tie, whether it's, VA clinics or counselors or it's, there's so many out there. I can't even list all of them. But then getting our, community involved with that. So we do volunteer stuff at different races, all the tri-races, we'll run like an aid station because we'll have people running, but it's also our way to, kind of give back, get people involved because not everybody's at a point where they want to go run or can go run. They may be like, I've done it in the military. I'm not running
I'm
anymore.
over it.
But they want to come out and they want to, help us with Adopt a Highway. We're going to do highway cleanup, or we're teaming up with the Special Olympics here in Texas. So going out, we've got a big event coming up in May with the Special Olympics. So we'll be going out and volunteering there. So it's having that good balance. Veterans will always be our focus, but it takes our civilians to help integrate them back into the community and give them that support.
Absolutely. Talk to me about what you guys have coming up on the calendar besides the Special Olympics.
Our next really big event is going to be held April 12th, and it'll take place out at Lady Bird Lake. We're teaming up. It's called Run as One, and we're combining forces with our friends at Team Rubicon and the Mission Continues. So all three veterans organizations will come together all across the United States on April the 12th to run as one. So we're going to have an event. We'll do like the 3-mile loop out at Town Lake. We'll have refreshments and stuff afterwards. So that'll be our next really big event that we're teaming up with them. And then after that in May for Memorial Day weekend is Carry the Load that we'll be doing out at Revel Peak Ranch again.
Perfect. Where can individuals find out more information if they want to donate, if they want to come get involved, if they want to just come participate, or even you guys have a really cool clothing line. I have a couple of Team Red, White, and Blue shirts myself with the eagle on it that I wear proudly when I walk and work out.
There you go. Well, and we just found out today it was released that we're teaming up with Nike. So we're about to have even more cool apparel with the eagle on it. But to get more information about Team Red, White, and Blue, our website, it's www.teamrwb.org. Or you can find us on Facebook. For Austin, it's just Team RWB Austin.
You being a civilian and everything that you've seen, and now literally being in such close contact with some of these nation's heroes and some of these veterans, what would you say to people listening? What would you say about all of our troops that are coming home and those that are still deployed? We still have a ton over there, and not only in Afghanistan, but all over the world. What would you say about this group, this special group of people?
The main thing that I would say, and especially talking and hearing my veterans talk to me, is they're people just like you and me. They did their job. They served their country. They sacrificed so much, but they're people. And it's amazing to hear them say that as soon as somebody finds out I'm a veteran, they look at me like I'm weird, or they don't know what to say to me. They like to go out to eat. They like to go to the movies. They're real people too. So I think some people just, if they've never been around the military, kind of have this fear of, what do I say? What do I do? I mean, tell them thank you for their service. If you feel awkward about that, just talk to them like they would about anything else. You don't need to sit there and say, hey, how many times were you deployed? Did you see this? No. What do you like about Austin? How have you been here? That's all it is. They're a real person and they want to be seen as just like everybody else, but obviously take very much pride and honor in what they have done, and they should.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you so much for coming. And Team Red, White, and Blue, again, we have so many nonprofit organizations out there that do so much. One of the most important things we can do at this point is really welcome our veterans home and help reintegrate them into society. So we appreciate you, Christina Isaac, for being our real hero this week, and your entire crew over there at Team Red, White, and Blue.
Thank you.